Perfect, thanks. Hello, today's the 15th of September 2025, and welcome to ACDT number 53. Mario is out of office today, so he's asked me to step up and facilitate the call. I just dropped the agenda in the chat. And first off is happy Mergeiversary. 3 years today. We had the merge. So everyone was watching the Panda ASCII art in their terminals happily. Crazy to think it's 3 years ago and 3 upgrades ago as well. So to Fusaka. First of all, we're going to have some Fusaka Devnet updates. And then we're going to talk about the new simulator that's landed on the HiveView page and have a look at the EL consensus tests and what the state is there. So first off, Fusaka Devnet updates. Barnabas, do you want to take the lead?
Yeah, sure. So Fusaka.NET 5 has started last week, Wednesday, and we've been going through a fork a day. We did Fusaka 256 epochs later. There was no significant problem there. And then the first BPO increased the blob, maximum blob count from 9 to 12. Then, was it 12? Just one sec. No, to 15, and then we went to 21, and now we're at 33. And tomorrow we're gonna go to 48, and then on Wednesday to 72. We currently see quite some orphan blocks. This can possibly be caused by a few different things that are being currently discussed in the interrupt channel. I could go into
anything else you want to add for DevNet 5?
Yeah, so one of the main issues that we had is the MAV machine had the wrong rate limiting, so none of the MAV blocks got included in time, and that was a misconfiguration from our side. So hopefully we just fixed this issue like maybe half an hour ago, so hopefully we're gonna be able to see less orphan blocks built by the MAV builder. Another thing, Nimbus reported some issues, possibly with the TKCG library. Maybe someone from the Nimbus team can give us an update regarding that.
Sure, yeah. So we're not, I want to say, totally sure that where the issue lies here, but this let me say the symptom is that if you look at the data column, the verify cells proofs function, something named like this, is in inconsistently apparently returning sort of a success or not success response in different clients, and Nimbus is at least at times not validating a lot of these columns, but we'll see. That's what exactly is happening there, and part of the issue is that there's, as is already being discussed in something, different people are running and different clients are running different versions of the CKCG library, and there have been changes about how strict that is over time. So that's one possibility. There are others. Anyway, yeah.
Okay, thanks, Dustin. But is this the, I kind of don't quite have the context on this. Is this the issue that you've seen with Nevermind, that Nevermind are working on, or is this a different issue?
No, those are yeah, that's a completely separate issue. That's a reorg issue.
Yeah.
So they say. I'll take their word for that. And in any case, no, it's a different issue.
Okay, thanks for clarifying.
I think for the Nethermind bug, maybe someone from Nethermind can give us an update.
Yeah. Recently we started getting errors related to reorgs. It happened on Lighthouse and Nimbus nodes, so most likely the issue is on our side. Well, it's when consensus client sent us new payloads on the same level for the same block number, but from different forks. Sometimes we use incorrect parent from different fork for the block we are retrieving for synchronization, and it's fixable. We are testing a fix, and it happens due to reorgs and probably like mixed with restarts or something like that, which leads to having wrong parent for a block. Well, we did not see it happening a lot before. Maybe we just broke master in some by some other contribution. Not sure, but fix seems to be helpful, and I hope we will soon have it in master. That's it.
Okay, perfect. Thanks for the update, Alexei. I see there's some chat about the original bug that Dustin mentioned. I think Justin mentioned that it's not handling point to infinity commitments properly. And so basically Justin's already on it, as I understand. And Dustin mentions that the problem is that Nimbus can't run the Alpha 6 reference tests. Okay, just a theory, says Justin.
There's one more thing. So Teku had a bug just merged in yesterday, and they were also updating to 2.1.2. And that bug was caught by our sync runner. I'm not sure if that's related or not.
Yeah, we were seeing the same problem, so we actually reverted the CKZG. That was our Java wrapper that was pointing to the very latest CKZG lib, and we reverted that. And because the latest version was actually enabling us to pass all the tests for the Alpha 6, we then reverted the enablement of those tests back to disable, so we can actually be on the network, but not passing reference tests yet. That's the current situation.
Okay. I'll fix this in CKZG and publish a new release as soon as possible.
Awesome, thank you. Good news. Okay. The other things I just wanted to mention about Devnet 5 is it was launched obviously last Wednesday. We've had 3 BPOs so far, and the next BPO is scheduled for tomorrow morning at 6:32 UTC. And I just wanted to add that we have some tooling now on the Steel side, and Felix managed to confirm that the clients were correctly configured via Dano's ifconfig endpoint that he championed using a new execute ifconfig command. And if you want to find out a little bit more, I just dropped a link in the chat to a blog post on ifconfig that Felix added this morning, and to the documentation on execute. And thanks, Jay, for sharing the BPO schedule in the chat. That also states when the next BPO upgrade will go live. Okay. Just in case you missed it, Watchtower is not ran for Devnet 5. So if you need your image to be updated for your client, please do reach out to someone. It won't be updated manually. And I saw some other chatter about some mystery node on the network called TYSM, and this is a diagnostic node from Prism. So it's a modified, it's a diagnostic node from ETH Pandrops. This is a modified Prism node with some additional monitoring that if Pandrop's added. So if you see those on the network, you know what you're looking at. Is there anything else for Devnet 5 before we move on? Okay, so Barnabas, did you want to mention anything about Devnet 3? Seems like it finalized, but it's now not finalizing again as of about 4 hours, as far as I could see. Is worth going into that now, or?
No, I didn't even know. We can take a look. I guess we're doing another non-finality test. Yeah, we didn't plan to do this, so I will have to take a look at what's happening.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Is it Devnet 3, Pavan? I was just mentioning Devnet 3. Devnet 5 is fine. Okay, Barry says Devnet 3 was unplanned. Okay, so we don't need to worry about Devnet 3. I thought we were.
No, it was unplanned, not planned.
Okay.
We should worry about Devnet 3, of course.
Yes.
Yes, please, 'cause we are actively using that as a test bed, and I think some of the other teams are as well.
Yeah, wouldn't be, we were, I think, at 70-ish%. So it could just be that there was some client push and Watchtower just deployed an update that led to a restart loop. We can have a look and make sure that isn't the case.
Yeah, so it was at 78% as of 4 hours ago, and then it dropped off to about just under, so like 62, 63%. But yeah, it's quite new, just 4 hours ago. But I guess the main focus at the moment is Devnet 5 for everyone. The last Devnet topic I'd have for Fusaka would be if there's any updates on shadow fork testing, or whether that's not in progress, not on the go at the moment. No. Okay, if there's no shadow fork testing update, then I'd go to the next agenda item, which is the fact that we've got a new simulator on HiveView since last Wednesday, called ConsumeSync, and I think Philippe would like to briefly introduce what it does. Did you?
Sure. Yeah.
Philippe?
Yeah, I can give a brief update. So I posted something in the chat that if you're familiar with Consume already, this basically builds on top of it. And what we wanted was a way to verify client sync after certain tests. And right now it only exists for the block RLP limit for Osaka. And so basically, we parameterize whatever clients are set up in the Hive YAML file twice. And so for each client under test, you'll end up syncing to every other client, including itself, after these payloads are sent via the engine API. And so just like ConsumeSync, we send payloads over the engine API. We start up the sync client, and we use the Hive boot node and admin add peer to establish syncing. And we make sure syncing is kept alive and just verify at the end of each of these tests. And so this is kind of a nice way for us to sanity check syncing and the state root after some test payloads.
Awesome. Thanks a lot for the update. So this was mainly introduced to test the RLP block limit, right? Or the block RLP limit.
Yeah, for now. So this is a new marker on the east side, and so we can add this either locally if we're testing Hive for sanity checks, or we can also just this will run on the Hive dashboard as well for the few tests that we turn it on for.
Awesome, thank you. So the last Fusaka point is a quick overview of the execution layer consensus tests. I think Spencer would like to give a quick overview here. What's the state?
Yeah, sounds good. I'm gonna share my screen just briefly if I can. You guys see what's going on?
Yeah, we can see it. Thank you.
So yeah, basically just wanted to say that we're now running the Ethereum tests, general state tests. So these are all the older tests, not the tests that we wrote, but we have refilled them all for Osaka now. And I mentioned in the last call that we added them to the latest release, but we're now running them in Hive, and it looks like all the clients are doing a really good job. All these fails are kind of non-critical fails, and can be tweaked quite easily on the east side, on our side, and also on the L side. So yeah, to be honest, I just wanted to say that feels good. And yeah, also thanks to all the EL clients for being really responsive over the past couple of weeks. Yeah, and on our side as well, we'd like to finalize our EIP checklist for the EL tests. We're nearly there. Personally, I'd like to add some more BPO tests, and maybe a few more EIP 7918 tests. Yeah, on the spec test side, on the EL side, just wanted to give that a brief update. And yeah, ConsumeSync here is added. These are failing right now, I think mostly from timeouts. It's a new simulator, so hopefully a quick fix. But yeah, that's it.
Great, thanks a lot for the update. So the Ethereum general state tests that are now included in the release, these tests have been moved from Ethereum tests to execution spec tests, and are being filled by the new framework, no longer by retestive. So these tests have sort of been migrated to the new system. So there's some unification there, but they haven't been ported. The JSON and the YAML test format has stayed the same, but we read them and we fill them using the execution spec tests framework. Okay, so I think that's it for Fusaka, unless anyone else has something to add. Okay, moving on to Scale DI1, gas limit testing. I can just very briefly mention on our side, as in from Steel and execution spec tests, we have some ongoing work on a new test wrapper format, which basically will just improve test developer experience, because we'll abstract out the EIP 7825 transaction gas limit. So you don't need to worry about that when you're trying to fill up your block. The framework will handle that for you. I think this work is quite close to completion. And secondly, some work is ongoing regarding sort of validating or verifying a bloatnet testing approach using the east execute command. Apart from that, Camille is out of office at the moment. If anyone else from Nevermind would like to give an update, please do step in. Failing that, Joachim, I think, would like to briefly mention the benchmark tests that he's been writing based on the Zen contract and using mainnet state.
Yes, yeah, I want to quickly say that we are currently setting up a test network to, well, we have seen that on mainnet we have seen some slow blocks, and these are all related to Xen. So Xen is like a super big state contract. And what we are trying to do is we are researching what happens if we raise the limit to 60 million. and then try to get like, okay, what's the worst case behavior if we now do the same scenario, but now not for the 45 million gas limit, but for the 60 million gas limit. That's still, well, the tests are being written, the network is, well, we are setting this up, and we hope to produce results on this like this week.
Thank you. So I think Joachim's mainly interested in creating tests that touch a lot of state to stress test that scenario. So if anyone has any ideas on other scenarios to add for that, then please feel free to add them, reach out to Joachim. I think that would be it for the gas limit testing update. Moving on to Glamsterdam, block level access lists. So they had breakout number 2 last Wednesday, which is live on YouTube. The agenda is linked in the notes. And I'll just add quickly that there was a new test vector release last week which fixed some issues found in both the specs and the tests. So I'm not sure if Tony's here and would like to give a brief update on the state of blockless access level lists. I'm not sure if he's in the call.
Yes, I'm on the call.
Perfect.
Yeah, there are not many updates this week. Next breakout call will happen Wednesday next week. We're currently still planning to do the Devnet end of month, and we are right now waiting for the first CL implementation such that we can test it locally. And I think Terence already said that he will do that.
Excellent. Sounds good. On EPBS, I don't have much to say. I think, as far as I could tell, the last breakout was on the 29th of August. Not sure if POTUS is in the room, wants to share something, or someone else about EPBS. Okay. It would seem that there's no EPBS updates this week. The only other thing that I would mention briefly is that Ref had a mainnet stall. Was it last week or the week before? I've lost track. But there's an excellent post-mortem for it, and I can share it in the chat really quick. I'm sure everyone's seen it already. And of course, we, on the execution spec test side, we would like to be able to catch this kind of failure, obviously, and we don't at the moment. I would just add that Mario's already added a test for this specific case, but triggering it via a reorg scenario in the engine simulator is still a work in progress. So we don't really run through reorg scenarios so far. We're just validating payloads. So this needs a little bit of work, but we also hope that that this can be covered via the spec tests. I saw that Ref already added end-to-end testing to prevent this in the future on their side. But of course, it'd be nice to have it somewhere where all clients can profit from. Did anyone from the Ref side, or did anyone else want to mention something about that? Otherwise, yeah, it's very detailed. Thank you, Roman. It should be in the post-mortem. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's an excellent document. Okay, if anyone else has any other topics, then please shout up, or if I've forgotten something, please let me know. I think we've gone through the agenda. PK, if you'd like to add.
I got one thing to talk about. It's Fusaka-related again. ETH calls. We have the new gas limit for per transaction in a block, but we agreed to not apply that limit on ETH calls, as that's a read-only method that's used by UIs a lot. And the situation right now is that Geth, Aragon, and Wrath ensure or enforce a limit there, which is yeah, which is the new gas limit at 16 million. But even worse is that there, even if no limit is set in the RPC call, they are somehow taking a limit of 50 million and then failing further down the line because it's higher than the new EIP gas limit. And that's a regression from what we had before Fulu and should really be fixed before any release because it's heavily used by UIs. And yeah, it affects Geth, Aragon, and Wrath right now. I've posted a message in execution devs.
Amazing, PK. Thank you very much. I just dropped a link to the Discord chat in case you want to go there directly. Anything else anyone has to mention? Okay, perfect. Then thanks everyone for coming and have a good week. Happy hacking.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Thank
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Thanks,
Bye,
Dave.
everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.